Welcome to Finca Live. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you. Good morning.
Morning everyone.
Welcome back to the Finca.
Hello from Alfie.
Yes, Alfie's joining us. We're up in the hay loft today. Because we want to get this floor finished. Hopefully at the end of this video it will be completed. But
In
also,
the main, hopefully.
Also because the weather's not very nice. We had a beautiful week last week, not a cloud in the sky, lots of solar power. It was excellent. In fact, we even invested in a new oil-filled radiator which we were running during the day, make the most of the free power. But today and for the rest of the week they forecast clouds and possibility of rain,
snow on the mountain behind us.
So yeah, not a very nice day. We're up here today.
Yes, we are. Okay, so before we get started, or carry on, we've had a question from Tony. Tony's in Poland. Hi Tony, thanks for your question. He's doing up an old cottage in Poland and he's considering solar and asking about our energy use. Where do we start? Our basic energy use is about 5 kilowatts a day. That's lighting, fridge, freezer. The water's all pumped, obviously because we're off grid, we don't have any mains pressure or anything. No. That usual sort of thing. And you know, even on a day like today, when it's super cloudy, we've got 4 kilowatts of panels, just over. We can easily produce 6 to 7 kilowatts a day, which is enough for our basic energy needs. Our hot water's all provided by solar from the collector on the roof that's on the other side of this wall. But we do have a heating element in that, should we get cloudy days like this, and we can flick that on and get hot water within half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah, about half an hour.
Very, very good. Obviously that uses a little bit more power. Our heating is generally, we're going to go into this a little bit more in a bit, but generally by wood burning stove, which you can't see there, I don't think, can you? It's just ticking over at the minute. It's very easy to heat. We're 46 square metres in the apartment in total there, the hay loft, which is about 500 square foot, so it's quite easy to heat. So yeah, the best thing I would suggest on, if you're doing an energy audit of what you use or what you're going to need to use on a daily basis, and size your solar system accordingly. You know, we can make upwards of 20 kilowatts on a sunny day easily. I don't know how sunny you are in Poland, but we can get, you know, this is in February as well, when the days are still short. We have tons, but you can always, you know, get more panels to cope without doing anything. Panels are your cheapest way to increase your power on a daily basis by a mile. Tony also asked about a heat pump. Have we considered a heat pump for our heating? Yes, but with the price of them at the moment, I think some neighbours of ours got quoted about €8,000. I mean, heat pumps are awesome. They only use about 500 watts of power and give you kilowatts of heating. I know you can get inverter aircon units now, which only use about 500 or 600 watts and give off 3-4 kilowatts of heating. But we don't really want. We think ugly, don't we? Yes. spoil our beautiful house. I have got some notes here. But yeah, on a cloudy day, we can easily produce more than enough that we need with the panels that we've got. So that would apply anywhere in the world, I would guess. You know, if with 4 kilowatts of panels, in February we can produce 7 kilowatts a day without trying, which covers our basic needs. We're going to look at the heating and stuff, and what do we do when we've got all this excess solar power, which we do have tons of, in a little bit. But in the meantime,
let's crack on with this.
Do some more floor. Right, okay, so since the end of the last video, I've got 4 more boards in here, or 2 more rows. The table's back in place, looking lovely. And now we get to the awkward cuts in this corner. So I'm just working it out now. I've got some pieces that are already cut to see how they best lie. Yeah, we'll try and get that in. I think if I can get 2 more rows in here and let them set, I can then put the insulating board down on these, because that needs to be stuck down as well. And obviously we don't want to walk. Like I said in the last video, it would have been a lot easier to do it in the summer when we weren't using the room. We could have emptied it, but that's not where we're at. It needs to be done, and so we're just having to work around it. Right, okay, so I've got one little one cut for the end there. He's going to sit in there, then a full length, and then I've got a piece already sort of semi-cut that I can cut that tricky cut at the end there. Once we're around this corner, it won't have to be too bad, because I can even run under the units at that end and just concentrate more on this end. But anyway, let's get these in and then get the next row in. Right, so I've marked out my end. I've marked it twice because I made a mistake. This is the one I want, so I'm just going to run that down with the jigsaw, and hopefully it'll slot into place. Well, that fits like a glove, just about goes in, so get some glue on it, try and get it in position. It'll go. I'll do that in a minute. I'll do this bit first. There we go, it's in, perfect. Right, so same again, same angle, angle's perfect, down to this one, so I can get the next 2 in the front. Right, okay, so with that in, we've got our next piece marked, same again, I'm going to cut it out with the jigsaw and see what we get. Right, okay, so that one's in, just one long one now for the right hand edge, and yeah, we're on a change of angles then. Righto, last one's in, time to get the next layer of insulating boards down. Yes, it's coming together. Not looking forward to this side, but it is what it is. So the insulation's nearly down, just got this little bit to do here, and then we can have a final push on the boards. Excellent, yes, just a couple of fiddly ones to put in here, of course, to match my fiddly shape of the hearth, but I'll get it done. Right, okay, so I've got all the insulation down. I've got 2 more rows of boards ready to go in, but I've got a bit of a rogue one here. It's curled up. Sometimes they do this, so the disadvantage with not nailing them down is get things. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the next one in. I'm going to put a bit of foam underneath it, put some heavy weight on it, this gas bottle, and hopefully that'll pull it back flat. I'm going to run a trim under the edge anyway eventually, so that'll help to keep them all in line as well. Trials and tribulations, but we'll get there. A bit of messing about, but we'll crack this cookie. There we go, that's done the job beautifully. Something I'm going to have to watch out for when I get to this very end here. I'm sure there's always a way around it, but at least forewarned, he's forearmed. But that's done the job great, because it's getting warm. It's so warm in here at the minute. This insulation has made a huge difference. Yeah, insulating saves having to put heating into it. We'll come to that in a minute. Right, so back here again, we've just about done what we can do without getting extremely technical on the floor.
Looking
but
good.
It's nearly up to the hearth. Yes, it's looking fantastic. Said before about insulation, you see we put insulation under this whole floor. We've actually gone to a big length, haven't we, to insulate the house. When I did the roof here, this ceiling's all insulated behind there. We overboarded it because the beams they weren't very pretty, weren't they? And full of nails and things, so it was easy to do that. This wall's not as thick from about here as the other walls, so that's why we cladded that and insulated that, and the other side of the roof as well. And it makes a huge difference, you know, even just doing this floor now, we've noticed a massive
difference.
Yeah,
get up in the morning and we've obviously had the wood burner going till about 3 in the morning. It generally lasts until, and it's just still toasty in the morning when we get up and we've got no other heating on. It's just fantastic.
Obviously we can't do a lot with the walls, but they are pretty thick, solid stone walls, so, and we like the look of them. So, but yeah, so if you are going to do a project like this, it's well worth investing in insulating before you start getting into the main of it, because the more insulation you've got, the less energy you've got to pour into it to warm it up and keep it warm. And on the subject we mentioned before about solar, we've been we've been using 20 kilowatts a day. We could produce even more.
Yes.
And we've just been sowing, like I said, we need 5-6 kilowatt hours, I should say, to be more precise, to do our daily needs. So we've been putting like 13-14 kilowatts a day into the warming this place. So it's absolutely free. So that's another offset. We don't have electricity bills. We haven't have any heating bills as well, and it saved us massively on the wood we've got
using a lot less wood now.
We still like a fire.
Last winter.
Yeah, hugely. Yeah. We can actually monitor the solar power.
Oh yes.
On the phone.
Yes.
It's my job.
He's got his app.
So there are other ways of diverting your excess solar, which we're kind of looking at now, but doing it in heating, we can look on the app, just check on your phone, see how much power you're producing and what the state of the batteries are, and any excess, we just switch the heaters on, which we do via, I'm going to plug this one, we got these smart plugs, which you can also control from your phone. You can set them to times and stuff via the internet, and I can literally just switch them out. I should put a link to these in the description.
Yeah, they're really good.
Absolutely fantastic.
Really good. If we go out and we've left the heaters on and it gets to about 4 o'clock and we think, oh, just check how we're doing for solar, we can remotely switch off those heaters so they're not draining the batteries.
And having 3, they're about 600-700 watts each, and we've got 3, one in the bedroom, one in the bathroom, and that one, which is temporary at the moment, just while we might get a little panel heater for there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can turn them on and off as and when required, so if we've got tons coming in, we can whack them all on, or if it's getting later in the day, or as the power starts to build in there, we can put one on and then switch another one on a bit later on, and then another one on until the afternoon. We've got all 3 going full blast all day. Keeps us nice and warm. They're only about €10 each, absolute bargain. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description to them. The other morning we woke up, didn't we? It was frosty, super frosty outside. It was about -3, -4, and I popped outside because even though we get cold, we don't always get a frost. It depends on the dew point, but that's another story. Went outside, I had a look at the roof. You can see here in this picture, there's a good, layer of frost. I hope it's come out all right on the picture. On the roof, and it was 20 degrees inside, which means that the insulation I put in the roofs
is working.
Is working, yeah, keeping us warm and toasty.
Fantastic.
So yeah, any questions about solar and heating and stuff, any ideas, you know, we can't afford a heat pump, it's beyond our realm.
Beyond our means at the moment.
Yeah, unless we're going to make one, which could be quite difficult. But any ideas, any other people that are off-grid with similar, you know, how do you heat your house, what do you do, how do you use your excess solar, etc, etc.
Yeah.
So, there you go, thank you very much. We'll carry on with the floor. Alrighty, so now starts the challenging part. I've got the enviable, or unenviable task of cutting round this. I've cut one for the end there, should drop in there, check them in a minute. I need to rip this one down, I've partially ripped it, I need to get this angle here. Then these two are both going to have to go in at the same time because I've not got room at that end because of my leg to do any sliding, plus it's got to go into the groove there, and sit in there. So I'll carry on. Right, okay, so after about 1 billion cuts, if you're wondering what this is, there's a right spring in this board. So what I've done, I've made a wedge to go in that end, and then I've levered it over and put a wedge in there to make it absolutely perfect. Because it's thinner here, once it's glued it should take alright. It's not glued yet, I was just making sure I could get it in the position that I wanted. So I think I'm going to try and get these in and then give them a good chance to go off before we carry on with the rest of it. That was extremely difficult, and we're going to need to trim off around the fire here in a bit, but that's not a problem. But yeah, we're getting there. Right, so it's in, it's wedged. As long as them wedges don't pop, it'll be happy days because the glue will super hold it. Don't even walk, I'm not going to walk, I'm not even going to retrieve my hammer. It can stay there for a few hours until it's dry. So we're making progress. The final piece of the puzzle for this side, just to go in there. Brilliant. Then there's that corner over there to do. You can probably see them still blue. I think what we're going to do, we've had a bit of a genius idea, is to edge all this off with steel angle to give it that industrial look or that agricultural look. We're not sure, but we think that'll finish it off really, really nicely. So one thing we're looking at, but in the meantime, let's get this done. Right, there we go, it's in. The gas bottle, by the way, is just here to just weight it while the glue goes off, so it just holds it just out level and it dries exactly like we want it to dry. Brilliant. Right, I'll get on with that other side. Right, okay, so it's a momentous occasion. There's one piece to go in there. I just need to rip it down, get my tape measure, need to measure it. And that'll be it, that will be a result. So do it 75. Fab, right, go and get that done. There it is, beautiful. Right, let's glue on him, get him in. That's easy. I'll have to put it on this piece, I think. I can't get into the groove. Lovely. Well, we're having a celebratory beer now. Cheers.
Cheers.
To celebrate our new floor.
At last.
Nice.
It's been such a long time coming, but it looks absolutely brilliant. Andy's done a fantastic job. It's been really difficult.
Walk around in your stocking feet or
walk around in our stocking feet. Yeah, there's finishing touches to do. There are quite a few knots in the wood.
Quite a lot to do.
So they need filling. Little holes need filling.
Yeah, sometimes the knots fall out, and if you catch them, you can stick them back in. But they come in the packets without the knots in. So, and the wood was pretty poor, but we've not done bad actually. We've got a couple to fill in. Yeah. All the skirting boards to do.
Yeah.
And all the edgings and the trims and stuff.
And it's all got to be oiled, of course, which will be my job, no doubt.
Yes. Yes.
But it's looking good.
What about how we're going to put?
Oh yes.
A little
bench here as we come in the door, so we've got somewhere to sit.
We've got a massive piece of wood, haven't we? We're going to make a big chunky, not short, so we don't come in, but trying to take your shoes off because we don't want to walk in there with our shoes on, if we can help it. Put your dirty hand on a white wall.
Yes.
Well, not that your hands are dirty, but mine quite often are.
Yes.
So we're going to do a little bench to sit on. So yeah, we're very, very happy with that.
It's made such a difference. We said the other day how much warmer it is up here just having the floor in. So.
Yes, it's just nice. It's like
lovely.
having a home.
It's lovely.
It's like quality of life improves again. So that's us, isn't it, I think?
That's us for today and for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you like the floor.
Yes.
And we'll see you on Thursday.
We will.